Welcome to the Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
We each do what we're good at, and everyone's happy. You're good at school, and I'm good at taking care of you.
Why am I always the sidekick?
Because the hero always needs the sidekick to survive.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today was born and raised in Hong Kong. He then moved to Montreal, Canada for high school, and then he went to UC Berkeley, a great school for a degree in English, and Yale University, another great school. Both of my kids went there for a master's film and TV, for an MFA in film directing at the UCLA School of Theater. He's widely known in the business for his work. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome producer, director, editor, writer, and a whole bunch more, Quentin Lee. Quentin, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me here. I'm very excited. I can do everything, writing, directing, producing, anything behind the screen, but never in front of the screen because I get so nervous about it. So
interesting, because you do cinematography, but you do have 2 actor credits. That you do have.
Well, that's not intentional.
I understand. You got an education, my friend, education as I call it, and that's the important. I teach over at Santa Monica College and trying to get people today's world to understand the need for having an education. You got it.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think that, obviously as a filmmaker, you can always bypass film school. And in fact, I really question because right now, I think UCLA Film School is going through that, actually where I went to, and I really enjoy that school. And it's going through a lot of sort of like re-examination of what could be effective education. But I still believe that, if you want to really set up a bit of time just to develop yourself as an artist, I think film school is still a good way to go.
As I was preparing for this interview, I thought I barely knew about you. I thought so. But I see that since 1992, you have been busy, sir. That year, of course,
That's right. I've been writing about it. I'm about to write an article about it. And what happened was that I graduated from Berkeley. Didn't get into film school. So I thought, well, might as well, I want to start making films. So I just, at that time it was before internet. So I just basically bought a high-8 camcorder and I started shooting my first short film called To Ride a Cow with my ex-boyfriend and my best friend and me as actors. So again, I couldn't find actors, so I had to put myself in it. But in this whole experimental process, I realized that I really learned how to work with actors, let me put it that way. And I would say that when I was at UCLA Film School, I still believe filmmaking was so much about the technical side of filmmaking and more about the craft and everything. And then eventually, after I made a couple of features, I realized, actors are so crucial to making a film. And it's making a filmmaking, it's all about performance and making the actors feel comfortable working with you.
Where you acted and directed a video documentary called Anxiety of Inexpression of the Otherness Machine. That's a mouthful.
Yes.
Please tell us about that experience.
Well, I made that film actually in the middle when I was going to school at Yale. It was just a side project I was doing, but it was more about how I always feel anxious by not saying something.
Gotcha.
And also it sort of ties back into how Asian Americans are always considered the most kind of like quiet kind of kids. And so what happened was that I was very sexually experimental when I was a student at Berkeley at 19, and I actually acted in a porn film, and a gay porn film, and I just wanted that experience, right? And so what I did in Anxiety of Inexpression of the Otherness Machine was I wanted to also explore the boundary between commercial porn film and homemade porn footage. So I juxtaposed with the commercial porn footage that I made for this producer to to this homemade porn footage that I made with my ex-boyfriend. We shot ourselves with a little camcorder, and that was sort of like an experiment. But what I did learn from my first, porn film shoot experience back when I was 19 was that basically I showed up on set, and the other guy showed up on set, and the first thing the director producers did is just handed the other guy an enema. Said, "Go clean yourself out." I was like, wow, that, even though it's a porn film, that is not how you should direct photography, right? So the other guy came back and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, he didn't want to do the whole anal thing." Then he said, "Okay," and then the director got very frustrated. He's like, "Okay, you guys just do a hot oral scene or something like that." And I was like, okay, well, he didn't get what he wanted because, just because of how he was so poorly in communicating what he wanted to the actors, So anyway, so that was just always stayed in my mind. So from that, because now with SAG, there's a lot of discussion actually about intimacy and working intimacy. And to be honest, I did not realize I've been working in intimacy since I was 19. So
yes,
yeah.
If it's worth anything, Quentin, the number 2.
Anxiety with Expression and The Other Machine. It's one of these films that still floats around, but hard to find. But has a lot of kind of like experimental things in it when I first started.
Fast forward to 1997, you made your first feature film called Shopping for Bangs. Remember that?
That was with my partner in crime then in film school, Justin Lin, who is actually now just directed Fast and Furious 9. So we co-directed and we co-produced. And so during the Christmas, I think, of 1996, I said, "Oh, Justin, let's write something," because we want to do an Asian American film, and you could write the straight Asian American male story. I can maybe do something kind of like queer and feminist. So together we basically wrote these two stories. One story about this guy who thinks he's turning into a werewolf, and the other story is about this woman that has a double personality and meets up with this other waitress whom she thinks this waitress has a crush on her, but it turns out to be like a surprise. And so we basically, actually that was Christmas of 1995, we started writing. And then in 96, we got a grant from the Canadian government. And then we went into production in 1996, the summer. It was very hot. I remember it was non-union. I was a producer. I didn't pay for anyone or anything other than food and film processing, because that film was actually made on 35 millimeter. So we canned the film exactly within budget for the grant, which was 50,000, which turned out to be about 35,000 in 50,000 Canadian grant, turned out to be 35 something thousand in US dollars. And then we shot the whole film for maybe just pay for film and processing, food, and everybody was learning on the job. And somehow that film got into the Toronto International Film Festival in 97. And that basically kickstarted our career as filmmakers.
Got you. Guess what? We got a cue. Roll it, Tony.
In an ordinary world, the lives of a few people rarely get noticed.
How are you today?
Fine.
Yeah, we talked.
You?
Good.
But it doesn't take much to change all that.
Ow!
I lost my wallet, my pager, and my cellular phone.
All right. Okay, now we can talk because the film's off now. But I see that movie went to the Toronto International Film Festival and became part of the Asian American New Wave 1997. I know you were proud.
Yes. Yeah, we wanted to do something because that was just after Joy Luck Club came out. And Joy Luck Club was a film that we actually enjoyed, but it's also a film sort of about this intergenerational Asian American conflict that we were not interested in as much. I want to do something that's much more our generation. Back then it was Generation X and low, and the next things were all in our 50s now. And so that film actually brought us a lot of attention and enabled me to make my second feature. And that also enabled Justin Lin to raise money for his second feature, or first solo feature, called Better Luck Tomorrow, that went to Sundance. And then I made another film, and I can basically, we've been making films since then.
For those who don't know you, over the years, you have gathered 33 producer credits along with 32 director, 16 editor, 14 writer, 8 cinematographer, and 2 actor credits. Marvelous, marvelous. And one of the things that I found in what you do, you give back to where you came from. For example, there's an organization called CamFest.
Yes.
And tell us about CamFest.
CamFest, basically, CamFest was actually the first festival that premiered my work. Even they actually showed my first short film, To Ride a Cow, back in 1995 or something. And then also, CamFest used to be called the San Francisco International Asian American Film Festival.
Yes.
And then I think when White Frog was opening the festival, then they rebranded it to called CamFest, which is the Center for Asian American Media. And recently, I also work with the New York organization called Asian Cinevisions, and also Visual Communications. Actually, I had my first internship there when I was young, and they're all kind of like the premier Asian American media organizations in America. And yeah, and then we just did a PGA thing, a panel with a fun PGA panel. So I tried, because I think that, as Asian Americans, you really have to help yourself out and help each other out. And I guess I come from my experience that I did receive a lot of help from the generation before, whether it's mentorship or whatever. Then I feel like obliged to at least give back and help the younger generation to become artists.
Exactly. What's it like being an Asian in Hollywood?
I feel like it's getting better. I feel like it's getting better, because back, I would say 10 years ago, you couldn't even find a token Asian American role in television series and stuff like that. But now at least they're putting the token in, and they're willing to look at, basically films and TV series with an Asian American lead. So when Justin and I were going to film school back in the 1993, in the 90s, basically, it was impossible, because we would write feature scripts that has like an Asian American protagonist, and you wouldn't even consider pitching it to a studio or to any type of legitimate production company. So it's by default to make Asian American content, other than a very few exceptions like the Charlotte Club, which was based on a novel. Is by default independent. But I'm glad that, with the whole Crazy Rich Asian kind of phenomena, with the farewell and everything, they really proved that, Asian American content can make money, within the United States and also beyond. So I think it's getting better, but definitely not enough yet.
Good.
So I'm glad to be part of this. I'm part of the Asian American filmmakers in the US, creating content. I think it's a good time.
Gotcha. Let's fast forward to 2020. You did a movie called Searching for Anna May Wong.
Yes, I produced this film, and to be honest, it was started off by a filmmaker friend of mine named Eric Yang, and it was his idea. He wanted to make a documentary film about Asian American actors, and we shot about 15 to 20 actors, from Sandra Oh to Tai Ma, to younger actors to Jake Choi, and somehow a year later he told me I didn't know what to do with it. I said, well, Eric, what's your movie? So anyway, he was really kind and gracious that I said, look, if you couldn't do anything with it, maybe I can try to cut it, or I can get someone else to cut it. So he gave me the footage, and then I enlisted my friend Denise Chen, who's actually an old friend of mine, and she basically cut the film together, and she got the co-directing credit with Eric. So it was definitely a journey, and also because I have to finish this film, because I know that everybody from Sandra to Ty, they donated their time to this project, and it just would. I just not feel very good if I couldn't finish it. So I did. Last year during the pandemic, yeah.
That's it. We're running out of time, but we got to show the cut that we've got. Roll it, Tony.
Hi, my name is Natasha Liu, and I'm an actress. I thought I have cried, I've been broke, I've been cries of joy as if to greet my father's happy fate. I'm Natasha Liu. This is my story, and the stories of other Asian actors in Hollywood.
My name is Elizabeth Sung.
My name is Jason Tobin.
Chris Tashima. Tai Ma.
Amy.
This is the Mickey Mouse Club, M-I-C-K-E-Y.
You got a lot of stuff. You got a lot of stuff in pre-production, Dark Christmas, AKA Dead Lee, whole bunch of stuff you got. I see you.
AKA Dead Lee was actually a really interesting documentary I'm making. So I don't know how it's going to turn out because we're still kind of shooting it. And it's with the first gay rapper. You know, he's half Black and half Latinx. And so I thought, you know, I knew him back in the 90s when we both started as filmmakers or artists or rap artists together. And so I wasn't a rap artist, but he was. So, and we want to do something with him.
I want to thank you for being here with us today. Continued success, and please come back again.
I will. Thank you so much, Ron.
My pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Lee.
Thank you.
This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. If you have a product, a service, or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call 323-533-1036.
Less than an hour ago, 911 received a call from the owners of this restaurant bar reporting
our prices are very affordable, and we want to thank you. Okay? This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it.
Shooting and the murder of a young man, Francisco Palacio.
Vincent worked here.
Can I help you?
What do you have?
What do you want?
I'll have a beer. Yeah, but this Vincent Reyes used to work here.
Hello.
My next guest is a film, theater, and television actress, as well as a professional dancer and choreographer. She's a dance teacher. She's a producer and a director. She's from Cuernavaca, Morelos. Please welcome Blanca Samperio. Hi, Blanca. How are you?
Hello, Ron. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me here. It's
My
a
pleasure. Welcome to the Actor's Choice. Now,
Thank you.
My first question is, at what age did you decide to be an actor?
Well, I was expecting to be an actress since I have remembers about then I want to dance and acting and everything. But I have opportunity one day in my small town with a huge production that is called Under Fire. Then that production was about the Golden Mayer Theater. So I was in that production, and that was my first time that I can discover that I want to be an actress.
Okay. Okay. How did you know that you had the skills to appear on television?
Well, I was knowing that because I was feeling all the time that I want to dance. I want dancing in the with my family, and they always was club and she danced really good, and I was trying to do the same of the commercials. I was trying to do the telenovelas. I was trying to sing. I was discovering all my life was like involved with singing and dancing and acting.
Okay. All right. What were the first steps in the world of acting that you had to do? That's number 32, Tony.
Yeah, after that huge production, I see the all that then they was doing. I want to do the same. So I start to take classes in some place, and it's called IMBA. It's institutional arts in Mexico. And then I get prepared in another schools, and I was studying ballet classic and jazz, hip hop, musical theater, acting classes. So I start to become more prepared every time, and expecting have more of that in my life.
How did you prepare?
I prepare in different techniques in ballet and dancing, and also I was in the College of Black Theater and Center of the Arts in Dallas, Texas, in the Culture House in Mexico. So I passed for a lot of different schools, and also I was winning a lot of scholarships. Then that made me help in my career to be in another countries. Getting more prepared in my career like an actress and dancer.
Ask you this, how many countries have you been to?
About 3. Not too much, but about 3.
Hey, busy lady.
Yes.
There's a process to prepare for your career. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. One time that I have the skills for get more titles in my career, my more professional things. I was start to doing performance acting in the theater, and I start to direct some performances. I was choreography many shows, working with a lot of artists, and I start to write. So I start to do all my scripts, and right now I have a lot of scripts that I am writing, and I've been working on that every day. Every day I discover something new that I want to do. So I get more prepared in that aspect. Yeah.
Oh, see, you're a very busy lady. I've been as I've been trying to talk to you on the phone. You're here, you're there. That's good. You're working. Indeed.
Yes, for 25 years I've been working.
Wow. You look 25 years old myself, madam.
Ah, thank you.
My goodness.
Thank you so much.
What was your first IMDb credit?
My official IMDb credit was in a movie that is called Border Cartel.
Okay.
That was my first main role in a movie, in American movie. After do years and years of theater, I do this movie. There was a very nice opportunity for me because that opened many doors for me for start in more productions, for the people can know more about my projects. I mean about my work. And that movie is in Netflix and Amazon. So I have very good experience in that. That was my first official IMDb credit.
Got you. So what was your first official role in the movie? Which one was that?
Well, in the same movie, it's a character, it's called Eileen.
Okay.
It's a character. Then when I read the script, I say, oh my God, she's passing a lot of stuff. The situation of her is very dramatic, very stronger situation for that character. So I get very involved with her, and I get in love of the character. So that was my first character. It's called Eileen.
You also did another one called Hood Fellows Redo?
Yes, that movie is very special for me. You know what? Because with that movie, I start to learn English because that was my first official role. I mean, my first official audition for a movie. And when I go to the audition, they show me the script and I read my lines and I say, okay, I got this, because it was in Spanish. But then the producer they love my work and they say, oh, we love your work, we want that you work with us, but we have an issue. We're just gonna change the script for then it's in Spanish, we're gonna put in English. Oh my God, was like a 200 pages to learn in 1 month. And I was in zero English, so that made me become better and better in English. I'm not too better yet, but I'm trying.
All right. So you can describe your experience as an actress as one you really learned a lot.
Yeah. Well, all these 25 years is a lot of experiences. Is very glad for me. Each performance, each movie that I am is very unforgettable experiences. And as an actress, is I am living my dream. You know. Yeah.
Cute. I know your family and friends, by the way, are very proud of you and what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, what was the most difficult character that you ever had to play?
Well, I have one in special. That character was a transgender character. Then I was doing different characters, regular characters in the regular life, regular experiences. But this character was very strong and very deeper to understand the character because I don't have any experience around me with that kind of lifestyle. So the producer, Percy Maloney, helped me to go to different organizations of transgender people for know more about them, for know more about the character that I'm gonna show. and is very glad to meet that movie because right now that movie is gonna be in India, in Central America, Mexico, USA. Yeah.
Okay. Now you sent me a video, and I love it because we're going to play it in just a moment here. But it's you on your demo reel, and you're out there, to put it nicely, kicking some butt. Tony, can you roll that, please, sir? Woo, remind me not to mess with you, lady.
Oh my God, you're my bad moment.
Oh, you hit that fella right upside the head. Bam!
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
The actor is okay.
That's okay.
Just props.
Gotcha, just props. Yeah. Now, you've got a couple of projects that you're very involved with right now. One of them is called Vampire Penancy.
Yes, I can say I have a season of vampires, not because it's serious, because I have 5 roles of vampire. I don't know why. Maybe they look my image like a vampire or something. No. Well, yeah. The first one is Eternal Oath with the producer Lynn Newton.
Yes.
The second one is Vampire Penance by John Ray in the Police Studios. This movie is going to be very special for me because it's going to be in Pennsylvania, and for me it's the second time that I'm going to do a movie over there, so I'm very glad to be a part.
Okay.
And yeah, also we have the Vampire Obsession. Then is my second film of my company, Super Angels Productions Films. So I'm very glad to start here in California doing 2 movies, and Texas, other 4 movies. So I'm very glad to do this. Wow. And other one then is called Hunter 2 from the producer Juan Aguirre. So it's a Latino vampire film. Mm-hmm. So I'm very glad I have a season of vampires for now.
Wow. Wow. Yes. The thing is, they say the things you have to do in this industry. That's what it is. It's what it is. Yeah. Now
every day. Mm-hmm. I say every day wake up 5 a.m. because you don't have time for waste. If you want to be an actor, you need to go and get it.
Got you. Now you got an award this year, a humanitarian award.
Yes, I get the humanitarian award. I'm very glad to be a part of this organization with Carl Wilson. We have a foundation that is called No One's Goes Hungry. And we are helping people in Rosarito and Tijuana, Mexico. And we are getting together actors, all people in the film industry, and any kind of people that want to help us in that organization. We are getting more and more bigger our organization, and I'm very glad to be part of this.
All right. Congratulations to you. Now, there is a question that people ask: how can they get to, they want to, they can your followers, people who want to be with you, they want to support your film. How can they do that?
Yeah, they can find me with my name, Blanca Samperio, in Google, Facebook, Instagram, Blanca Samperio, and everything. And I'm going to be in different events like a Comedy Chella this June 19th with the Rap Mothers and many other events.
Oh, the Rap Mothers. Sounds like a good group.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. I have one question I must ask. That behind you, I see flowers and I see balloons. It wouldn't be your birthday by any chance, would it be?
Yay!
Yay!
Yes, it's my birthday. Yes, I've been working 3 weeks continue days. So till now, my last project is with you. After this, I'm gonna celebrate finally my birthday, and I'm very glad to be doing what I love to do.
God bless you. Hope you enjoy your day. As they say, happy birthday to you. Indeed.
Thank you so much.
Blanca, I want to thank you very much for being here today. Thank you very, very much. And ladies and gentlemen, Blanca Samperio.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Brother Tony. Well, all right. My next guest today is a member of the medium known as magazines. Now, magazines have been around since the 1740s, that long, ladies and gentlemen, playing a key role in our social and cultural lives, becoming America's earliest national mass medium. So, just so you know, actors, actresses, directors, producers, etc., they get outstanding, I say again, outstanding coverage because of magazines, along with other mediums. Today, my guest today is the founder and editor-in-chief of ESHE magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Jordan Jr. Hi, David.
Hi, Ron. How you doing today?
Hey, thank you so much for being here, and welcome to the Actor's Choice.
It's a pleasure to be here. I really appreciate you having me on, and I'm glad to talk to you today.
No other way, because you got quite, as I read your resume, man, you got quite a background. I see, let's see, excelling in the game of basketball throughout middle school, high school, Division I at Mississippi Valley State University, an undergrad degree in mass communications. You ain't playing, is you?
Trying to get things done, man. I've been blessed, and you know, I've always had different types of goals.
Yes.
And you know, my main thing is just to achieve and excel.
Well, you also earned an MBA, that's a Master's in Business Administration, for those that never heard of it, in marketing from the University of Phoenix in 2008.
Yes, it was one of those things where, you know, finished undergrad and then you say that, okay, I'm done with school. But, you know, education is forever happening, and it was an opportunity for me to go back. It was perfect timing, and I was glad to complete that degree.
I'm so happy to see that, because I talked to a lot of brothers. I said, come on, brothers, you got to go to school. Ladies, go to school, get that education, get those degrees. When I went to high school, when I was in school years ago, it was different. Now, these days, as you know, I'm talking to the choir, you have to have pieces of paper, not a piece of paper, pieces of paper.
Yeah, it's essential. You have to have like a bachelor's degree. Essentially doesn't hold any weight today. And in some aspects, depending on what you get your degree in, your master's might not hold as much weight as well. So you have to continue to push forward and educate yourself and get the knowledge necessary to be efficient in this world.
Ladies and gentlemen, that David Jordan Jr., he's got a good attitude, don't he? Got a good attitude. Excellent, excellent. As an entrepreneur, you continue to fully develop your craft in all areas and journalism.
Yes, journalism, really the field of communication is something that I've always had an interest in, even as a kid. Watching different TV shows and then, you know, reading different books, and it always piqued my interest. So it was something about the news, factual information that, you know, I'm an avid reader, and I love learning about different things. And, you know, as a journalist, I'm able to bring that to the world.
Hey. Because I know I'm a journalist myself. We talk about news. One of my favorite expressions is, what is news? Is news a dog biting a man or a man biting a dog? Which one is news?
Depends on the time of the day.
Indeed. Now, you also established D. Jordan Productions, Inc. Can you please tell us about that project?
Okay, that was a corporation that I started really going into my last year of college. And it was with development of different production types, whether it was sound, video, photography, and also written production. And I did it for different entities, and it's been something that's been continuing to grow and pushing forward.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But then you had an idea. That's one of my favorite words, ideas. You had an idea to start a magazine called ESHE Magazine Incorporated. You're the founder. You are the editor-in-chief.
Yes, it was. I launched it in 2014, and of course, I have to give a shout out to my mom, because my mom, it was something that I thought about, and then, you know, the opportunity came about, and she was like, you know, now's the time. You should go ahead and do it. And, you know, from there, from mom's words and everything, I just laid the foundation for it, and I had an idea and a blueprint of how I wanted to do things, especially with it being a digital publication. Because when I launched it in 2014, I launched it as strictly digital, because I saw the realm, the ways that the industry was going. People weren't buying as many magazines, and if they were buying it just for the cover. And with the development of technology, everybody was doing everything on their phone, on a tablet, computer, and they wanted instantaneous. And the way the world was going, you could reach more people with the share of a link or a click than you could with having some on a newsstand or in a store.
We have a shot of your movie, of your past covers. Can you take a look at that? That's good looking.
I appreciate it, man.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. ESHE. ESHE. Tell us about how you got the name ESHE.
Okay, well, I got the name. The word is actually, it's an Egyptian word.
Okay.
And it means life. And Egypt is someplace that I've always been enamored with and studied in school and everything. And I knew that with the publication, that essentially it will represent life and the life coming from people. And my motto is your life, your words, your thoughts, because everything that comes from people is what's going to be put out in the publication. Like, it's nothing biased or, you know, opinionated. It's all factual information. And my thing was, you know, if I'm talking about life or something that happened in life with somebody, it would be going and coming from that person that actually experienced it, because it's their life, or it's those lives, or those people that did it. And that was the thing that I wanted to emphasize with it and just continue to grow with it.
David, as you're talking, I'm saying to myself, Mother Jordan, thank you very, very much for putting that brother right here in this world. Thank you very much, very much. Now, I want to take a moment to let our viewers know how you and I first met. Tony, can you put that picture there for just a second? Yeah, there it is. Ooh. That's a picture that you took of me. I was standing in front of Marvin Gaye's Los Angeles mansion, the building where he got killed at. What I do is every year I go out there and I put some flowers up there, and I needed to have a picture taken. And you just happened to drive by, get out the car, and I said, "Can you take my picture, please?" And you did. Thank you so very, very much.
No, it was great, man, because it was, you know, obviously I'm a fan of Marvin Gaye, always have been. And, you know, that was the first time that I actually went by his house that day. Like, I actually had the opportunity to go, and I was like, I wanted to go celebrate, you know, and appreciate his life. And then bumped into you and we got to talking, and, you know, it's a small world, but, you know, it just goes back to show how, you know, Marvin Gaye, all about love and spreading the positivity. And that's how we were able to connect.
And one thing that I love so dearly, because I keep telling my friends about this, you and I exchange business cards. A lot of people, I don't be carrying no business cards. I say, man, carry business cards. You never know who you're going to meet.
You have to. It's essential. I don't leave home without. I don't care where I'm going. If I'm going to work out or anything, I'm going to have business cards on me, because, like you said, you never know who you run into, and you never know who you connect with. You have to have something solid to connect with people.
Okay, let's go back in history for a little bit, since we're talking about magazines. The year was November 1st, 1945. It was called Ebony Magazine.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Lena Horne. Marvelous. That was the November 1947 cover that you saw right there. We have another one. Can you show the next one, please? Yeah, there's Sidney Poitier, and I believe that's Diane Carroll.
Diane Carroll.
Yeah, back in the day. That was 1965, Ebony Magazine. Mr. John Johnson, he started this whole idea about magazines, and it was marvelous what he did.
Yes, it was definitely an inspiration for me, and I can actually say when I was in finishing up undergrad, my last year at the University of Tennessee at Martin, we had a final project, one of my communications projects, and, you know, we talked about what we wanted to do, and then we put inside, you know, different people that inspired us to go forward. And I had Mr. Johnson in there because, I mean, of course, as a child, I grew up reading Ebony and Jet. My parents, my mom and dad had them all over the house. And then I also remember watching Ebony Jet Showcase. So I watched all those things, and, you know, it just kind of put in my head, you know, further driving it home that, you know, this is something that I'm very interested in, always have been. And, you know, I have great appreciation and respect for his legacy and what he did for media, and particularly giving Black people the opportunity to be in publications and going forward.
Amen. Amen, sir. You mentioned Jet Magazine. Can you put that one up, Tony? This one came out in March 1955. Dorothy Dandridge, the great Dorothy Dandridge. What a lady. What a lady. And then there's one that came right behind that. You're going to laugh at this one when he puts it up. Ooh, Richard Pryor. Brother Richard Pryor. Jet magazine, Mr. Johnson had a great idea. Instead of having to read a whole lot of stuff, he just put pictures in there and cut lines. That's all he did. And it's so big time. Like you said, you had Jet in your house. We had it in my house. I didn't know too many people, black, white, or green, that didn't have it in their house.
Right. It was everywhere.
It was everywhere. Wow. It's a doggone shame that time has changed and they have to go and sell it, but these things do happen. Okay. What's it like in today's world for magazines? What's it like?
I think it's actually a great time period to be a journalist and be in media. Of course, the distribution methods have changed somewhat, but I think the access and the opportunities are more readily available for anybody that's really seeking to do something with it. Because before, with magazines and just media in general, it took a lot more time to develop your topics, the coordination of interviews and your research and everything. And now with the availability of the internet, you're able to, it's almost the internet at times can be like the yellow pages. Whatever it is that you're looking for, you can find it. If a person that you're trying to connect to, you can find it. And so as a journalist, whatever the topic may be or the person that I aim to connect with, I'm able to connect with them. As before, 25, 30 years ago, you had to do stuff via mail. Like you might have had to mail a person to see about inquiring about doing an interview and then go through a whole process just to get it set up. Then the editing process was longer because it went through so many people. And now, you're able to put out more information in a faster manner. So I think that's the one thing with media that is good, and it enables people that really want to do it to be able to go forward in a positive way and connect with the world.
How's your circulation? How are you doing it?
Oh, I'm doing it. As I said, it's strictly digital. Yes. And I have the website, ESHEmagazine.com, and then of course all of the social media outlets such as Facebook, yes, Twitter, and Instagram. And I have readers and subscribers in over 100 countries. Wow. And it's been able to continue to connect and grow with different people. And of course, the different people that I interview or different events that I've done features on, they have their own unique set of fans and followers. So as they see something of interest to them, then that increases the reach and enables more people to know about things that ESHE Magazine is doing and continuing to reach more people.
The website that you mentioned, can you give us the URL for that, please?
ESHEmagazine.com, ESHEmagazine.com.
Put a lot of work into it. It's very eye-catching. It's a good piece of work. I have the different sections in there. I stayed for about 20 minutes just going through, go back. So you're upgrading as you go. That's one of the beautiful things that you talk about.
Yeah, you gotta stay on top of things.
Yes.
You continue to go with the times, and fresh content presented in a different way is what catches people. People, especially today, like I said, with the way technology is, everything is visual. So yes, if somebody sees something that catches their eye, whatever it may be, that's what they're going to look at. And then from there, they're going to read and everything else and share and so forth.
Now, we got another picture we want to show. A young man by the name of David Jordan Jr. Yeah, that's you. You're moving around with a microphone in your hand. Can you show us that first one, sir? Look at you. Doing that guy by the name of Michael Finley.
Yes, Michael Finley. That was at this Fox premiere for this documentary that he produced called They Fight. And it was a really good film about some kids out of the DMV area that were boxing. And he was one of the producers, and we talked, and a really cool guy, really straightforward gentleman. And it was a great experience talking with him.
Got you. And the next one is you, and a singer-songwriter. They call him Babyface. Other people call him Face.
Yes, Babyface. I mean, all you got to do is say the name Babyface, and everybody knows what the deal is. Right. And that was at Capitol Records. It was at a listening party that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were having for a new album that's been songs off of it has been released over the last year, and Babyface has a track on there, and talked to him about, you know, that album, the music that he had on there, and just everything else that he has been doing. But truly a great experience meeting and talking with him.
Okay, now how big is your staff?
My staff right now, it's consistent of myself, and then I have contributors across the country and a few international contributors, and also for its development. So, you know, it's continuing to grow and just building. And the main thing is just, you know, the right people, because, you know, sometimes people have a staff, a super large staff of people, and they still have holes in whatever it is they're trying to do. So the main thing for me is efficiency.
Now, ads, you need ads.
Yes, always welcoming ads, advertising, sponsorships, partnerships, and, you know, people, wherever you may be, if you have an event of interest or a product or anything that you're looking to shed light on, we do placements, and we do placements within feature articles, cover stories, and everything else. And there's an inquiry part of the website where you can submit your inquiries about whether you want to advertise, sponsorship, or if you have something coming up that you would like to try to get coverage for, and we can make it happen from there.
How you like hanging out with these stars? You go to press conferences and junkets and things like that. How you like that?
It's cool, man. You know, to me, it's, you know, I just, you know, I take every moment as it comes. And, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm grateful to be around any and everybody, as, you know, I hope they be the same with me. But it's, you know, we're all people, and we all go forward, we talk, and, you know, the moments are the things that I embrace. You know, I embrace the moments, and, you know, actually connecting with people that have inspired me in my life with things that I, you know, aspire to do, whether it's been something athletically, professionally, or in education, or just in life in general. Like I've been blessed to meet a lot of people that, you know, have done legendary things in this world, and have been able to connect with them and you know, have them as a source to talk to and reach out to.
Speaking of people who are legendary, here's a great story for you, sir. Today, veteran actress Molly Gibbs of Jefferson and 227 fame, and she has a total of 110 acting credits. She turned 90 years old today.
Oh, happy birthday, Molly.
Happy birthday.
Gibbs.
Happy birthday. And if that's not enough, she's going to be receiving her star, finally, long overdue, well-deserved, on Tuesday, July the 20th. The Hollywood Walk of Fame will have her star out there.
That's amazing. And it's very well overdue. But I'm really happy for her. She's one of the favorite people I like watching in different sitcoms growing up. 227, The Jeffersons, and then even her role on Martin as Miss Minnie.
Yes, indeed. Final question, sir. Tell us about jobs, getting jobs in the industry, the magazine industry. How can people get in?
I feel that people can create an opportunity. Number one is being persistent and understanding what you want to do, because there are a lot of different avenues for people to get within media, and especially now, because when I graduated undergrad, I mean, it wasn't as open as it is now. And the main thing is creating a portfolio of what it is that you want to do, whether it's something in radio, TV, or writing, and just continuing to build in that, and then make the connections with people. Connect with the right people. Don't just connect with anybody. Connect with people that are doing the things or trying to do the things that you're doing, and, you know, have a positive attitude, because every day is not a great day. Like, trust, every day is not a great day. Everybody you meet is not going to have the 100% best interest for you. But, you know, you have to have the discernment and the understanding to know that you have a bigger purpose and a bigger goal. So anytime you have the opportunity to do something, whether you're working with a company or you're working independently, do it to the best of your ability, and, you know, let the chips fall where they may. Like I said, I've been blessed with opportunities, and I've, you know, taken many long days and long nights to you know, get to the point where I'm at now, but I'm still aspiring to continue to go forward and go higher.
David, thank you so much for being with us today. Best wishes with ESHE Magazine. Please come back again. I'm glad I bumped into you.
Hey,
We'll meet again next year out in front of Marvin Gaye's house out there next year.
That works. I really appreciate you having me on, Ron.
My pleasure, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, David Jordan Jr. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman, Photography as an Art, Ron Irwin's Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Acting Training School and Actor Space. Much thanks to our guest today, producer, director, writer Quentin Lee, actress, producer, director Blanca Samperio, and editor-in-chief, founder of ESHE magazine, David Jordan Jr. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing worldwide audience. Be well. We'll see you next time.